you doing, y'all? Matt, Massive Beers. Yeah, we're here. We're here doing beer reviews of what, you might say? Of crisp, clean, uber traditional styling beer. Yeah, a little bit of strawberry peach milkshake IPA action. From Southern Swells and Ology Brewing. This comes courtesy of my boy Carson. He sent this off. This be a 6.5% milkshake IPA. Contains lactose. Yeah, lactose. That's the thing. Lactose. Man, these fruited milkshake IPAs like strawberry peach, if they're done well, they can hit. But if they're not, they can miss. So we'll see where this sucker lands. Like I said, this is sent courtesy of my boy Carson. Sent off a bunch of beers, mostly Southern Swell stuff. Ooh, chunks. I saw a couple chunks. Oh, that sucker's chunky. Doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be a bad beer. God damn, my ISO sucks. My ISO keeps climbing and falling. There's a way I can actually set it. And by ISO, you see, like, the scene gets darker and lighter. I just haven't got around to bothering setting it yet. Because I'm me. Yeah. Label-wise, it's alright. It's just, pink with some chipmunks in the back and all that kind of stuff. But man, they are, like, I don't know if this is going to come off on camera. Yeah, you guys can see that. I know you can see that. Let's see if we can get the camera to focus and give you a little better. Now that be chunks. I am not afraid of chunks. I don't mind chunks. I don't mind yeasty bits and pieces, but that be super chunky. So we'll see how it goes. Now, that head is really rocky. There's not like a creaminess to it. You can see there's almost like particulate and stuff already attached to the side of the glass. It's not a pretty beer. Milkshake IPAs are never going to be confused with being a pretty beer. But let's put it that way. So I'm just going to work past this because it just doesn't look nice. It looks like a hazy IPA with a bunch of huge chunks in it. The nose. Not too bad. I mean, it's very, very light on the lactose side of things, so it doesn't come off like super milkshakey. It comes off more as a soft lactose IPA. There's a fruit component here, but I think that's mostly derived from a hopping. I don't think there's a huge, like, stone fruitiness to this. There's a huge strawberry thing. There's a generic kind of fruitiness to it, and I believe a lot of the fruitiness is actually coming from the hops. Yeah, there's a little bit more in there than just hops. I'll say that. But yeah, doesn't smell bad. Let's dive in. Cheers. It doesn't taste that bad. It doesn't taste great. There's a big carbonic acid thing here, so you're getting that big carbonic bittering. There's a strawberry shortcakey kind of element to it, which is not an off-putting flavor by any stretch of the imagination. But the mouth feels thin. What you're talking about, milkshake IPA, it's almost like, how the hell do you even do that? It has a creaminess to it, but it's kind of clipped. Its wings are clipped by that carbonic acid. That when carbonic acid levels are high, beers come off very, very thin to me, and that's the case with this one. So there's a generic citrus pithiness that is kind of elevated by that carbonic acid. There's a decent sweetness level on it. It's not overly sweet. It's 6.5, so it's not a big beer, but it's sweet but not overly sweet. The lactose comes through not huge, and I kind of dig that on this. It still comes off as a milkshake kind of beer, but the lactose isn't gigantic. And that fruit portion on the show, the strawberry comes through more than the peach for me. It comes off very much strawberry shortcakey, like very herky-jerky beer. Very disjointed. Just not really that good of a beer, to be perfectly honest with you. You can see, the amount of particulate kind of just attached to the edges. Huge chunks. The head's pretty much dissipated completely. And it's just not there. It just really is kind of a lot of misses. And like I said, at the get, man, these kind of peach fruited milkshake IPAs if they hit, man, they can hit. Like, the first one I ever had was the strawberry milkshake IPA from Omnipolo and Tired Hands. The first one I ever made. God, was it 7-8 years ago? I had it on draft. The first batch of that was ever made, I had on draft at Turst. in Brooklyn, and then it was crazy good. And I've had that one a couple times, and that one usually is pretty on point. A couple different breweries do this kind of style, but they're more often than not misses, and this one is very much the case in there. From a good brewery, I really dig what Southern Swells does. I believe they've done a collab with Ology before, and I believe I've had that beer, and I believe I did like it. But this one, kind of misses the mark. Yeah. Thin, chunky, both literally and figuratively. And just very singular. Nothing's cohesive here. It just comes off as you can taste what they're going for here. They're trying to hit this certain mark, and it just doesn't land. Now I wonder if they're the whole kind of gotta roll the can kind of thing on this, if it helps it out a little bit. Let's do that because I know a lot of breweries are like, you gotta roll that can, and make sure everything's kind of mixed up here. So let's give this a good whirl. I don't think it's going to. Man, I can feel the density of the chunks in this thing. Like, there is a slug. There's like, I wish I had like something I could feel like a large, decent amount of heavy particulate floating around in that can. Oh man. Yeah. Anyway, same beer. So there you go. Just not really. It's not offensive. I'm not sitting here going, "Oh my god, gotta spit this out." But at the same time, it's just not well executed, chunky, funky. This is from a guy who don't mind those chunks. A lot of people freak out yeast particulate when it comes to beer. It does not faze this person. Just meh. There you go. We're done. There's no Mount Rushmore. There's no. Let's not talk about value and all that stuff. It just kind of is what it is. I just want to know. Have you had this beer? Southern Swells, let me know what you think of them. I mean, overall, one of my favorite breweries, especially out of Florida, if we whittle it down that way. But have you had any of their milkshake offerings, any of their fruited milkshake offerings, more specifically this beer? Let me know what you think. Was yours different? I know a lot of times, sometimes top of fermenter can be quite different than bottom of the fermenter when it comes to cans. So you guys let me know what your thoughts and experiences are with Southern Swells, more specifically on their milkshake line, and more specifically their fruited milkshake line, and uber specifically this beer. I've said that twice already. So there you go. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. Hope to see you next time. Cheers, y'all.